For exclusive content that Shakaama offers, join us over at Patreon as supporter of the Shakaama Live Show. That's video content you won't see on YouTube that can help you grow and maintain your wealth, financial education wrapped up in plain English, and video series of interesting and thought-provoking topics. Join us at bit.ly/patronshack. It's the first link in the information box. Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. This is a personal message just from me to whomever. This entire campaign season is so annoying to me, and the complete idiocy of the American public is just risen to the level of ridiculousness that I am just so frustrated with people. Seemingly people who think that they're intelligent are falling for lies and lies and more lies, and they take up the cause of the campaign by lying and continuing lies. Just a couple of things as an example. Donald Trump, whom I don't support whatsoever, in a speech said, "Look at this guy," and he held up an article by a journalist, quote unquote journalist. You know, there are no journalists anymore. And he says, "Look at this retard." Now, here's the fact. He never met the journalist, didn't know about his condition whatsoever. It just so happens that the journalist had a condition, maybe cerebral palsy, I don't know what he has. Anyway, the lie is that people then were saying that Trump was directly making fun of the guy instead of making fun of journalists who attack Trump mercilessly without even, of course, telling the truth or stating facts. The truth of the matter is that as far as bro science goes, the guy was acting like a retard, right? In the bro world, you would call that person a retard, not because of that particular person, but he lied about the guy. And the bro code says you don't lie about a guy. You tell the truth. You know, the bro code is full of actually honor and dignity, right? You might act like a jerk, but you're still honorable. And the truth of the matter is, everybody jumped on Trump for saying that, but the fact is the guy lied about Trump to begin with. But we don't want to concentrate on the lie. We want to concentrate on the second lie, which is that Trump knew that the guy had a condition and was directly making fun of him, which was not true. Countless lies about all of the other Republican candidates, and it's just a whole bunch of lying. Let's make fun of these candidates. Let's lie about the candidates. The whole idea of the campaign is you're supposed to go through this vetting process to see what the candidate actually believes in. And the people who agree with the candidate that they believe in, that's who you vote for. No, instead, they just lie about all the candidates and make stuff up and point stuff out that has nothing to do with their candidacy, nothing to do with policy, nothing at all. Now, in the past, it was something you could completely blow off like, Donald Trump, Ben Carson actually eats all the babies that he does surgery on. You could completely dismiss that, and you know that they're just lying through their teeth. But no, they want to say stuff like, Ben Carson's entire historical biography was a complete lie. He was never offered a scholarship to West Point. When in fact, the general was known for offering people a full ride, complete entrance. If he knew the general, straight through, nothing, no application needed. You go straight past go, collect $200, you're good to go. And when that news source was called on it, they didn't even apologize. They just compounded the lie by telling a different version of the lie. It's so annoying. This is why I really deleted my Twitter account. But now, since I'm trying to deal with companies that say you have to have a Twitter account. And here comes the frustration. I pack up all of the people, get everybody to follow me. I'm almost at 2,000 followers already within a couple of days. And here they come with the stupid, Trump eats babies. Cruz is the best, most awesome guy ever. Rubio is is super, super sexy. And the other candidates all worship the devil or something is just so ridiculous. Or the other candidate called babies horrendous names and believes in all sorts of horrible stuff. And this is why I just can't stand it. Everybody is turned into children. And they care about stuff that they should not be caring about. Of course, you're so distracted. You're so dumbed down. And here's the problem. When I tell people that, they go, no, Trump really did do that. No, block. Just block. Delete you and block you, whatever. Just get out of my life. I don't have time to be dealing with that crap. I really don't. If you're so stupid that instead of actually talking about policy and actually seeing who is the actual best candidate, but instead telling a bunch of lies, a bunch of gossip, and treating these people like the Kardashians instead of actual presidential candidate, everybody says, well, how can we destroy Trump? How can we destroy Trump? Well, if you treated Trump like an actual presidential candidate and asked him some actual real questions, policy, maybe he would shrivel up like the Wicked Witch of the West who got water dumped on her, which was the complete opposite of how it actually went. But if you ask him policy questions, people might wake up and go, oh, well, I don't agree with that policy. Instead of saying, he's a racist, he's a racist, he's a racist, he's a racist. That doesn't say anything because white people are now calling each other racist and calling black people racist. Obviously, it doesn't mean anything anymore. Clue phone, black people cannot be racist. Black people do not control the country. And if you think black people can be racist, you're too unintelligent to even have a conversation with. So calling Trump a racist in this day and age means zero. They even called Ben Carson a racist. It is so beyond the pale of stupidity. It's not worth having an actual discussion about. And having the former Mexican president weigh in on something, or the Pope calling Trump and not a Christian. I mean, it is just beyond the pale of stupidity. Yes, I just call the Pope stupid. The unholy Pope. Yes, I called him stupid. I didn't vote for him. He's not my Pope. How about that? I'm Catholic. He's not my Pope. That is not representative godliness. Oh, if you build a wall, well, sucker, you have a wall. Mexico actually has a wall. So how is Trump not Christian, but you're a Christian, and Mexico is a Christian, filled with a bunch of Catholics? Mexico is Christian. They have a wall with guards, with a fence, with barbed wire, 24-hour surveillance a day. But somehow Trump isn't a Christian? But we already have a wall. We actually already have a wall. We simply need to fix it. And Ben Carson had the best plan. Ben Carson had the best plan for everything. He had the best plan for taxes, abolishing the IRS, any flat tax, no workarounds, no loopholes, nothing. But you all don't want him. Oh, he's a racist. He said some bad stuff about black people. Yes, but he was the only person who went to Harlem and said, I don't care if you don't vote for me. Know that I will always have your back. Black people. Who else said that? Rand Paul said, if you vote for me, I have your back. He at least went and talked to them. Nobody else said that. You know what Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders said? They doubled down on the black people are poor. That's the only thing that has come out of their mouth. Black people are poor. Black people can't handle it. We need to keep black people in the underclass. That's what has come out of. If you want real discussion about real stances on policies, you're going to get it here. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are not for black people. Oh, he was in the past, he did so. That is not what he's talking about now. And Hillary Clinton definitely isn't for black people. So how do you fall for this? How are you unwittingly supporting them? But here's a light at the end of that tunnel. A lot of black people are turning to Trump. Why? Because Trump is the Kardashians. That's all he is. What policies has he announced? What has he announced? What policies has he announced? He has a good campaign. And what's funny is Trump is beating the media at its own game. He's a larger-than-life person, not candidate, person. They actually want him on TV. The more that they want him on TV, the better their ratings. So it's like a moth to flame. As much as they hate giving him completely free publicity 24 hours a day, even for periodicals that are supposedly super liberal, super Democrat, they cannot bear to not feature him on a daily basis because he is a ratings bonanza. And of course, he has fans all over the country. Of course he's going to win. What does Hillary and Bernie have to offer compared to Trump? Nothing. Hillary's a woman. Let's vote for a woman. Yes, but you're an evil woman. You're a horrible woman. You have all of these skeletons in your closet and it fills a stadium. It doesn't fill an actual closet. Hillary Clinton has bodies in her closet. Superstitious goings on. Mysterious deaths from people who have associated with her and for things that seemingly are so innocent as simply holding a position that she wanted for one of her cronies. And the person ends up dead out of the blue and the crony steps into the position. These are serious allegations. And now we have some serious treasonous allegations that they're investigating. They're about to indict this woman and people are still supporting her. Obviously, people don't stand for truth and justice. Had this been anybody else, that person would have disappeared out of the limelight completely because nobody would have wanted to touch that person for fear of the taint of their corruption falling on them. How in the heck are they being supported? And we have Bernie Sanders, a socialist, a complete avowed socialist, and his example of what he wants America to be are socialist nations who are failing. Why are they failing? They're failing as socialist nations. They are now reverting back to capitalism. Oh, they have free health care. Well, actually, little by little, every year, they're dismantling that free health care because they cannot afford it. Because they have an ever-increasing percentage of the population who do not work. You can't have a socialist nation with people who do not work at all. That means everybody is not contributing to the pot. If you're the one holding the pot and you get to distribute it, but some people aren't even contributing and they're just taking away from the pot, that is just a big sieve. The pot is no longer a pot, it's a sieve. They've already dismantled some taxation that they were charging before because they got almost none of it. So why even have it on the books if nobody's going to comply with the taxation? This is what's happening. Now it's opening up that Bernie Sanders is not a socialist at all, but in fact a communist, and has supported communism since the 60s. And of course, again, he's using black people as a stepping stone to legitimacy. This is what they do. Black people fall for any and everything, but black people are an actual group. As much as black people themselves don't treat themselves as a group, everybody else treats them as a group. And getting black people to fall for you adds to your legitimacy. I'm astounded that Bernie Madoff didn't go to black people to make his case of being legitimate and continuing his Ponzi scheme. That would have been the best tactic to stay innocent looking. It's now coming out that Bernie Sanders has communist ties and has had communist ties continuing all the way up until like a couple of years ago, endorsing flatten out Communist Party members, being endorsed by the Communist Party in the United States. But you're not going to get this if you're running around talking about gossip. Ooh, He kicks puppies in the road. Ooh. No, let's talk about some real truth, some real hard facts. What is actually going on with the candidates? What do they actually stand for? None of this, we can vote our first woman president. That doesn't mean anything. Women have been voted into office all over the world. And you know where? The most? Africa. Isn't that astounding? As much as I want to say Africans aren't progressive or aren't up with the times, I have told you time and time again, the Africans' gods were always man and woman. They didn't understand the concept of somebody saying you have a god that's only a man. Well, where's the feminine aspect comes from God then? This is something only the West has done. The African version of godhood is that it's a couple, a man and a woman, because that's how humans are. And we anthropomorphize our deities, right? We make our deities into humans, and we say there has to be a man, there has to be a woman. This is where creation comes from. It doesn't come from the magic, the magician, the wizard. So Africa has had more female representatives, lower house, upper house, presidents, prime ministers than all the other nations in the West. In fact, all over the world. But you don't know this because you stick to your little tiny circle. Oh, what about the United States? Okay, how can you be global and all this other stuff? Well, we need to look at Sweden. How can you look at Sweden and start looking at international politics, but you don't accept that women are okay because they've been elected to prime minister, queen, president all over the world? But no, America has to have their own woman, and Hillary is Hillary's not it. She's evil. She needs to be punished for her crimes. They are investigating her for crimes against the state. Why would you support such a person? But you can't concentrate on these actual facts because you're so caught up in this infantile, let's gossip about the candidates until they go away. Let's tell a whole bunch of lies until the candidates just go away, instead of using this period to do fact finding. Everybody talks about they want to make America great, but they're not doing stuff to make America great again. They're not acting like the 1950s, meaning being up on politics to such a degree that you understand it. I'm very hesitant now to make videos about political analysis because people come in as let's make dick jokes about the candidates. What? You're over 18. I know you have a child my age. Why in the heck would you? And by the way, I'm now completely editing my channel because if I'm going to be sponsored by all these companies and what have you, they do not like to see nastiness in the comment section. So yes, I'm deleting all of this nastiness, if I consider it nasty. If you just call somebody a bozo or something like that, that's fine. I mean, that's juvenile, but it's fine. As long as you keep it G-rated, I'm A-okay with you going at each other. Keep it kindergarten level with your name calling. But some people just are so oozing in just nastiness. How are you really going to vote if you don't even know anything about the candidate? What do you know about the candidates? And if you're going to make America great again, do you know back in the 50s and 40s and what have you, people knew everything about all of the candidates, not just their party? I know they keep trying to get you to go with this whole party thing. Well, the Democrats are different from the Republicans, which is a complete lie in this day and age. The Democrats took over the Republicans, because it was something crazy like 9-1. For every 9 Democrats, there was 1 Republican. So they just said, okay, we're just going to own both parties. And they took over the party. I'm sure you've seen it, where a candidate was Democrat for like 10 years, and then all of a sudden he's a Republican. Why? Because they can. And that's politics. That's a level of politics obviously you all are not mature enough to even understand. My channel is about maturity. I want you to be mature, and mature in the way that your thinking is on an adult level. None of this, he called me names, I'm gonna call him names, he touched me, he came on my side. None of that stuff. I require you to be mature. I do mature subjects. I can't help it. I can't help it. I can't even think in a juvenile way. When I try to think in a juvenile way, it comes out as dry humor. That's the best I can do. I just want you all, whoever hears my little speech here, I just want you all to really vet the candidates. Ask about policy. What do they think about policy? What are their stances? If he tripped a toddler, I don't care. Seriously, I don't care about that. I don't. I really don't. I don't care. Something small, something that is completely unrelated. I'm not about this hyper. He did this. That is immature. Keep your eye on the ball. I think this election is more important than any others. This could really determine whether or not we turn into a globalist nation or we actually keep our sovereignty. Nobody's talking about that. We have on the table right now stuff that could relegate us to have zero constitution, zero freedoms, and you all are talking about somebody calling somebody else a retard. Seriously, this is what you're debating. You are debating reality TV level stuff about presidential candidates. And you've gotten rid of, in both sides, not everybody's into this whole one-party system. Naive or not, clueless or not, there are certain candidates who have entered into the race who literally have not been beholden to this whole establishment, and you all have gotten rid of them. You have a Democrat that didn't say anything remotely liberal, nothing remotely progressive, and you got rid of him because you're so in love with Hillary. You're so in love with Bernie, who's not even a Democrat. How are Democrats voting for Bernie when he's not a Democrat? And don't say he's a democratic socialist. He's not a Democrat. How can you be supporting him if you call yourself a Democrat and you're going to vote for a Democratic ticket? You're voting for a true third party who has completely, literally, out and out, openly said, I'm just plastering the name Democrat over my head. And you're going to vote for me. Why? Because you're silly. But you got rid of an actual, quote unquote, old school Democrat. You got rid of real, actual conservatives. And I know for black people, they get confused because the establishment has told black people that conservative means racist, when in fact it's the Democrats who were racist. Conservatives were never racist, never. Conservatives believe in freedom, including the freedom of black people. And you got rid of actual conservatives, actual semi-libertarians / Republicans from the race. Why? Because you all are embracing this whole reality TV approach to determining the president of the United States. It is so disgusting to me. I just really cannot tolerate it. I hope you all pass this message along. I hope you share this video. There's nothing scary about this video. I hope you share it with everybody. I'm not saying vote for anybody. I'm saying take a look at them. Take an adult look at them. Everybody. Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show.